Joining us live now is Ufuk Gezer, Turkey's ambassador to Australia. Ambassador, thank you for your time, and firstly, condolences to your nation. Our hearts are really breaking for your immense losses. What is the latest intel you have about the current situation on the ground and the likely death toll?
Yes, the situation is severe. The priority right now is trying to reach those who are trapped under the rubble. The time window for that is quite limited. We have about 72 hours to save lives. That's why our government mobilized all these resources under the coordination of the Disaster Management Authority. All our ministries are involved. We have mobilized around 10,000 rescue workers. They have all been dispatched to the area. And also we made a call on the international community. 45 nations have responded positively. A lot of international search and rescue teams are on the ground trying to save lives. So it's race against the clock.
Yeah, and time is ticking, as you point out. What conditions are those rescue crews working under right now? Because I understand it's freezing there at this time of year. That must really complicate matters.
That's correct. We are in the middle of winter in Turkey. That area is not particularly harsh in terms of winter conditions, thankfully, but still the temperature hovers around 0 degrees. So that is going to make the life even more difficult. It's around 4 a.m. in the morning in Turkey right now, and the rescue workers have been working throughout the night. So the conditions are quite difficult for all those who are doing a heroic job of saving lives. Another difficulty is how to get to the areas which were affected by the earthquake, because the magnitude of which these two earthquakes was so big that it also disrupted a lot of the communication systems and also transportation systems. The highways were made not available, and some of the airport runways have been damaged, which made them out of use for airport landings. So getting into the area is also very challenging. And against all odds, I'm pleased to say that the rescue efforts are going quite well, and they've been rescuing some people, but still, it's a daunting task.
We can see from these images just how big a task that really is going to be. I understand residents in this region are no strangers to earthquakes and seismic activity, but it sounds like this one was unlike anything they've experienced before in terms of scale and severity.
Absolutely. I mean, Turkey lies in the earthquake zone, so we are not unfamiliar with similar seismic activities. We've had a similar, not similar, but a strong one back in 1999. Which made it quite a serious damage and caused a lot of lives, loss of lives. And now this one is even bigger. So the scale of these two earthquakes back to back, 7.8 and 7.6, these are indeed unprecedented events in Turkey. And the area which it has affected, not only Turkey, but also Syria, even Lebanon, some parts of it have been affected from it. Only in Turkey, 10 provinces were affected from this earthquake. Around 13.5 million people are living in these areas. So you can imagine the size of the task that our rescue workers are faced with. They're trying to reach everywhere, but it is a difficult task, I must say. That's why we called on the international community, and we asked for two main priority items for help. The first one is the medical equipment. We need all sorts of medical equipment for immediate response to the medical needs. And also the second one is search and rescue teams, both medium and heavy ones, to help people who are trapped under the rubble.
And is there anything specifically that you'll be asking our Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, for today? Obviously, we are at a distance from Turkey, but what do you need from Australia right now?
Yeah, first of all, let me express my appreciation for Prime Minister Albanese's immediate response and his kind words of help and support, and also Foreign Minister Wong extended her kind words to us. We appreciate that. We are in contact with our DFAT colleagues, actually. As we understand, the options of assistance by Australia to be extended to Turkey is under consideration right now.
And in terms of the very strong Turkish community here in Australia, what is their best course of action in terms of trying to get in touch with loved ones in Turkey who may have been impacted by this?
Yes. There's around 150,000 Turkish community here in Australia, and they all have been understandably trying to reach their loved ones, and they are also calling our consulates and our embassy. We try to help them to the best of our abilities. There's also a hotline in Turkey established by the Disaster Management Authority. The communication lines are up, they're functioning now. So if anything, that the Turkish community would like to get any information about their loved ones, they can try to reach us through email, phones, in any way possible. We can try to help them.
It is early days, and I appreciate it's hard to get a grip on exactly what numbers we're talking about here. But in terms of the human impact, do you have any firm sense of where this will land in terms of the number of people who may have died and those who have been wounded?
It's difficult to say. All I can say right now is, according to the latest figures, around 6,500 buildings have collapsed. And if you consider the fact that the big major earthquake, the first one, happened at 4:17 a.m. when all the people were asleep, that is going to tell us that the cost may be a little bit higher, but it's hard to say at this moment in time.